Welcome to the Dental Team Podcast. I'm your host, Kiera Dent, and I have this crazy idea that maybe I could combine a doctor and a team member's perspective because let's face it, dentistry can be a challenging profession with those two perspectives. I've been a dental assistant, treatment coordinator, scheduler, biller, office manager, regional manager, practice owner, and I have a team of traveling consultants where we have traveled to over 165 different offices coaching teams. Yep, we don't just understand you, we are you. Our mission is to positively impact the world of dental, and I believe that this podcast is the greatest way I can help elevate teams, grow VIP experiences, reduce stress, and create A-teams. Welcome to the Dental Team Podcast. Hello, Dental Team listeners. This is Kiera, and you guys. All right, so I feel real lucky that I get to travel the world, and I get to go see many different dental practices. I feel like I'm kind of a sponge of great resources of what different practices are doing to share with you guys some of the best that I've seen. So today I want to share with you some magic phrases. Ooh, I love magic phrases. I love hearing how different people change things and just add a little bit of flair and flavor to their practice. So these will be a couple that I've heard that I think you guys should try out. Make it into your own. So I'll kind of go through them, explain them, and hopefully you guys can go try them out. Again, if you found some magic phrases in your practice that are working, please don't be stingy. Share them with the rest of us at hello@thedentalateam.com. I really do try hard to collect information from practices that I really love, and then share them with you. So the first one is, this is something that I thought was so clever. So double check your state. Make sure your state will allow you to do this. So do a little research on it. But as a patient was checking out, the front desk would swipe their credit card and they would say, okay, Kiera, is this a credit card you'd like to keep on file? They would get a verbal yes, and they started keeping credit cards on file. So let me repeat that for you because it was so clever when I heard this. They would check it out, they'd swipe the credit card, and they'd say, hey, Kiera, okay, great. So is this the credit card you'd like to keep on file? Now, normally I teach you guys not to say yes or no's. This one is a yes or no because you want to make it simple for them. Most people say yes, and then you have their credit card on file, and their goal at this practice was to get all patients with their credit cards on file. They would run for any of those small, like $25, $35 fees just automatically, and anything above 50 or 100, you'll set the price break in your practice. They would actually contact the patient and say, hey, just so you know, insurance paid X, your portion is going to be $150. We'll be running that on Friday for you. So they gave the patient a couple of days of leeway. If they didn't respond, otherwise they just run the credit card and it was no problem. Made it very convenient for the patient. Open Dental is dreamy McDreamy and will allow you to store credit cards on there for you. So it was a really genius way that they said it. Another thing, when the front desk, when they were coming up, they would say, all right, Kiera, so what other, notice I didn't say is there, they'd say, what other family members can we get scheduled for you? So I loved that because they were asking, what other family members can we get scheduled for you? And it just was part of how they ended their procedure. I loved it, you guys. Loved it because they were being very resourceful, basically asking if there were new patients that they could help out. They also would say it when a new patient called on the phone to schedule. So new patients calling to schedule, they'd say, okay, great, Kiera, we're so excited to have you. What other family members or friends could we get scheduled for you? It was crazy when they would say that. They would get so many more people scheduled because they just asked that one extra magic phrase. So there's 2 magic phrases for you. All right, doctors, this is one that I heard that I loved when they were presenting a treatment plan or treatment to a patient. They would say, it's never going to be as predictable or less expensive than today. I really loved predictable. The word predictable. It was super straightforward. And I like that, today it's more predictable. We're going to know what we're getting into, and it's less expensive than today. So I'd recommend you get this treatment done within the next 2 weeks because it's never going to be as predictable or less expensive than today. I thought that was a great way. A lot of doctors, I've heard them say that. Just made my treatment coordinator heart so happy that you teed it up so great for me. You helped the patient know. And the bottom line is, it's not. Today is the most predictable. We know what's going to happen most likely, and it's the least expensive that it will be. So tying into that, I heard another doctor say, when they were talking about treatment to a patient, they said, it's like a chip in your windshield. You know it's there. It will crack. We just don't know when. Oh, let me say that one again. It's like a chip in your windshield. You know it's there. It will crack. We just don't know when. I loved that because that's so, you guys, think of how many chips we've had in our windshields. You've had it. I've had it. We've all had a chip in our windshield, and we know it's there, and we watch it, and we hope and pray when it gets cold outside that we don't wake up to a cracked windshield across the front. And when it does, we're like, dang it, I should have just gotten that small little chip fixed. It was so much smaller. It was so much cheaper. It was so much less headache. And now I have a whole cracked window that I've got to go get taken care of. So I really loved that analogy because it was so real. So it's like a chip in your windshield. You know it's there. It will crack. I love the confidence. It's there. It will crack. It's not going to go back. We're not going to reverse this. It will crack. We just don't know when. So today it's the most predictable and it's the least expensive that it will ever be. So let's get this taken care of because we don't want it to crack when you're on vacation or whatever time frame that is. Do you notice it's something that the patient can relate to? It's a visual. It's a great visual. And I love it's there. It will crack. We just don't know when. So I thought that was a really great one for you doctors. If you're looking for one, we have a ton of magic phrases, guys, for how to talk about treatment for the front office. I just think it's paramount that all of you parrot, mimic, and mirror each other the same way. So if doctor's going to talk about a crown as if it's a helmet that you put on top of it, make sure all of us talk about it the same way. That way it's more consistent and patient doesn't get as confused. If doctor says it's like a helmet, I say it's more like, the build-up's the foundation and then we put the house on top. Well, that gets a little confusing because doctor just said it's a helmet. I just said it's a house. What is it really? So make sure you guys are just consistent with that as well. Okay, here's another one for the front office. I heard this in an office and I smiled so much when I heard them say it. And I will tell you, it's one word that can make this really amazing or really bad. So they said, thank you for calling whatever dental office. Thank you for calling blank. This is Kiera. How can I help you smile? I loved that. I love that. How can I help you smile? Now, before they used to say, how can I make you smile? And when I was actually writing these magic phrases down, preparing for the podcast, I wrote, how can I make you smile? Well, yes, this office did have somebody inappropriately say something like, oh, how can you make me smile? So don't say, how can I make you smile? That's not the route we're going for. But how can I help you smile? It's a dental office. And it was very cute and it was very clever. And how can I help you smile is very different than how can I make you smile. So make sure you watch that little slip of the word. It's one word that can have a whole different meaning to this. In the office that I heard this though, it was so cute and they stood out. Just like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, we used to say info at the dental A team. It no longer says info. That's not our email address. It is now hello@thedentalateam.com. I thought hello was way cuter, way more inviting of an email address, and you would remember it better than if it was info@thedentalateam. Info was just, boring, and everybody does that. And I wanted it to be different. I wanted it to feel more welcoming when you emailed me. So that's why I said it's hello@thedentalateam.com. Same thing with this. Hello, thank you for calling such and such. This is Kiera. How can I help you smile? That just is different. And I can see people on the other end like, yes, how can you help me smile? It just puts people in a different frame of mind. And I thought it was so cute. And I just loved it. And patients loved it. And you could just hear the like smile on the side, like, oh, that was so nice of you. Just hearing your voice makes me smile. So thank you. Or, oh, I needed to get that toothache scheduled or whatever it was. I just thought it was a little bit spin on a normal welcome call. We get into our routines. So if you guys want to try that out, I thought it was very cute, very well done. And again, make sure you say, how can I help you smile? Not how can I make you smile? Watch out. I don't want any of you guys getting weird comments. Okay. So another one is a magic phrase. You guys have heard me talk about this before, so I'm going to share it with you again. This is going to help you guys with getting those recalls scheduled. It's going to help you with getting unscheduled treatment calls actually converting. And it's funny, I tell you guys how to do this and then people don't do it. And they're like, oh, people aren't calling. So when you call for unscheduled treatment, don't say, hey, this is Kiera calling on your unscheduled treatment plan. Give me a quick call back. Don't say that. One, it's not HIPAA. And two, they're not going to call back. They don't want to call back. But if you say, hey, this is Kiera, I was calling regarding your account. Give me a quick call back. I'm being HIPAA compliant and I'm also getting patients to call back. So I've only had 2 or 3 people say, oh, I thought I had to pay money. And you say, oh gosh, I did not want you to feel that way. We were actually reviewing your entire account and we noticed you have some unscheduled treatment. So we want to get that scheduled for you. You guys, everything in that patient's chart and folder is their account. So you're not being deceptive. You're not being deceitful. You literally are calling on their account. This will change, guys. Do it. Don't not do it. It works great. And also follow up with the text, the same text. Call and text will help you guys get more phone calls back to the practice and make those recare calls and those unscheduled treatment calls actually effective instead of just a quantity of calls. We don't want to meet our quota for the day. We actually want to create quality and get people to call us back. That's the whole reason we're making these calls. So calling on your account is a phenomenal way to do this. Hello, Dental A Team listeners. This is Kiera, and you guys, right now is the time to get your operations manual done. I just did a podcast, Operations Manual 2.0. Be sure to listen to that. And if you're like me, sometimes that task can feel daunting, which is why the coaching team, the Dental A Team coaching team, put together, you got it, Wednesday workshop for the next 4 weeks, starting on April 15th. We'll be running these at 12 p.m. Pacific, Wednesday workshop, where we're getting your operations manual done. We're taking you through step by step to ensure within 4 weeks, you actually get that operations manual done with accountability, with traction, and with ease. So be sure to join us. It's free for all. So there is no reason you shouldn't join us and get that operations manual done. Wednesday workshops every Wednesday starting on April 15th, running through May 6th at 12 p.m. Pacific time. Pop on over to thedentalateam.com/strategy to join our webinar series. Can't wait to see you guys there on Workshop Wednesday. Also, another thing you guys can do is when patients are coming to schedule. I've heard this a lot and I practice this. I wanted to make sure I wasn't telling you guys falsehood when I did this podcast for you. So I actually practiced it when I was in a practice and it worked like magic. So patients who do not want to get scheduled, right? We all have them. They're like, oh, I'll check my checkbook or I'll check my calendar or I'll talk to the boss or whatever it is. Okay. All those excuses. I used to get so frustrated with those excuses because I thought you're just giving me a line and it's annoying. So this one, it really has to go in this order. If you change it, it doesn't have the same effect. So I say, oh, no problem. Let's just get you scheduled so I don't forget about you. I'd hate to let you slip through the cracks. So let's just reserve you on Wednesday. And then if it doesn't work out, you can give me a call. Now, if you spin that just a smidge and say, let's just schedule you so you don't forget about it, they can tell you no, because they'll be like, I'm not going to forget. Don't put that on me. If you say, let's get you scheduled so I don't forget about you, they can't combat that because Kiera's ditzy over here and heaven forbid she forget about me. I'm important. You're not going to forget about me. So let's get you scheduled so I don't forget about you. I'd hate to let you slip through the cracks and it's busy. So let's just reserve this time. If it doesn't work, no problem. Give me a call, but this way I don't let you slip through the cracks. Notice it's all on me. They cannot combat that. Now they still might say, no, it's fine. This old gentleman, he was like, oh yeah, don't forget about me, schedule it. So it just changes a little bit. So back office team, if you're scheduling, hygienist, if you're scheduling, front office, if you're scheduling, any of you scheduling, when patients say, oh no, let's not do that, try one more time and say, oh gosh, totally understand. Let's just get you scheduled though, so I don't forget about you. I would hate to let you slip through the cracks. And I know I can forget patients sometimes and I don't want to forget about you. So let's just get you scheduled. If it doesn't work, you give me a call. Now, I didn't say, does that work for you? I just said, if that doesn't work, you can give me a call. I'm assuming they're going to schedule and I put them in the schedule. I don't ask, does that work for you? You okay with that? Should we do that? They'll tell me no at that point. The reality is, I want them to think about me being ditzy over here, and that's why I'm trying to schedule them. So those are some magic phrases for you. Yes, there are plenty more. I figured giving you guys a couple quick ones that you could listen to this podcast over and over again, practice it, role play it, implement one, then come back to this podcast, implement another one. These magic phrases work. So try them out. Let me know how they work. Email me hello@thedentalateam.com. If you and your practice say something incredible that you found, whether it's through diagnosing treatment, whether it's through things you say at the front desk, ways that you present treatment plans, the back office, hygienist, scheduling. You guys have heard we've got the one for fluoride. There's lots of little magic phrases. So if you have some that work great, guys, I will happily share who you are. I won't say your full name. We'll keep it. But become a podcast celebrity. I want you guys to be known and notorious for what you're saying. And if you don't want me to share your name, I won't share your name either. But let's help each other out with some magic phrases. So this way we get our patients to have the best VIP experience, our teams to have the best VIP experience, and overall a more efficient, effective practice. I have found that just changing one word in a sentence can make it feel completely different. So watch your words, watch what you're saying. You guys can always pull that phone out, record yourself so you hear what you truly are saying, not just what you think you're saying. So go try that out, guys. Let me know how that goes, and I'll chat with you later. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll catch you next time on the Dental A Team Podcast.
And that wraps it up for another episode of the Dental A Team Podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.